Wolverine. He's coming. He's coming to the MCU soon. Now, an older rumor that we've had previously, I believe, that Wolverine is looking at a potential series, this time anthology series that would touch upon different portions of his life. That's the big rumor we have here this week, coming from the hashtag show, which, good God, that threw me into a loop. Flashback to years ago when they were the number one, outlet for sources and scoops. And what do you make of this first and foremost? I mean, it's the smart direction, right? Like,
I say hypothetically, if this thing does exist, which I assume, even if they're wrong, I assume it does exist. So it's one of those weird situations.
Yep.
But if it does, then it's the easy, obvious route to go. Mm-hmm. Not in a bad way. I'm not using easy as a knock on it. It's you can do all the quick and dirty character development stuff and then just jump straight into a movie with him.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what are the time periods? 'Cause I know two of them would be one he was young in Canada, and another one would probably be his time in Japan. But I'm not so sure about some of the other ones.
I mean, you'd have to do the war.
You'd have to do, yeah. I mean, you'd have to do the Civil War and World War at least.
Yeah. People would want that one time where he met Steve.
And I'd say you'd have to dump a crap ton of money on Chris Evans. Just be like, look, please. Just one episode. We only need you for a week.
Or you could cheese it where
Isaiah Bradley.
Well, you could do that as well, but you could also put him in the front over, fighting World War in Asian territories, and then you literally drop the Howling Commandos like Dum Dum Dugan and be like, man, we were removed from Cap's camp to fight with Logan? Who the hell's Logan? It's like, yeah, okay, here we go. So that could be an easy way in. It's a cheap one, but it would work.
Yeah, it would work. I think people would feel a bit robbed, and rightly so. It's like, no, just give Chris Evans the money. So whatever he wants.
I mean, I'm gonna look at this in a cynical way. A Logan series would be so cheap that you're stupid if you don't do it. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Because you don't have to do much. He has the claws and the healing factor. Let's say they're probably going to do the bone claws to start, right? You're probably doing that.
Yeah, I assume you got bone claws, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least for the early years, you would have bone claws.
So unless they completely ignore the whole origin story and just have it so he just has the healing factor. And that's it, and then you go do the original thing where the claws come in later on.
Yes. And honestly, that could be a nice slow build-up. The final 2 episodes are the Weapon X program and him getting the claws and becoming the Wolverine. And then you could kind of leave it for a second season where he's doing all that before he shows up. So I think the potential is all here for a perfect story and how to tie it into everything. Just, I feel like Wolverine is $1 billion film. And I feel like...
Yeah.
I feel
that's the thing, you're not really making a Wolverine series.
Yeah.
You're kind of making the first... Well, you're not making a movie. You're making the first act of a Wolverine origin story.
Right.
And then he's clearly going to be a movie.
Oh, God, yeah.
You're not going to have Wolverine in the movie, so you just do it that way. Well, so you're kind of having your cake and you're bringing people into Disney Plus, which they're always going to want.
People.
So the amount of subs you get for that is always going to be the measure of how good something is, and then you can get your $1 billion movie afterwards. Because people aren't just going to go, "Oh no, I'm just sitting this." It's like, no, you're going to go back for more.
And I also do think that if you were to do Logan's history in a TV series, and then still I don't know, call it Disney's or, whatever, Logan or whatever. And then you do a Wolverine movie separately. The Wolverine movie can just be him already with the claws working Weapon X and teaming up with a couple people. And you don't have to have the back history necessarily slap you in the face because, it's different time periods. People change. It's easy. And if we've seen anything with the MCU, they account for you skipping movies and still people are able to get it. I know plenty of people that have never seen an Ant-Man movie, but they've seen the rest of the films he's in, and they're like, oh, I get it. It's like, yeah, all right. Like,
Yeah.
so you could do that with a Logan TV series and a Wolverine movie, and it's easy enough, I suppose. So
Yeah, it's no different to comics. You get a big event and you haven't got to read every single thing.
right, yep.
You just have little payoffs in the main book that still make sense in the grand scheme of things. But if you want to read where that little payoff came from, then you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they handle it. I mean, I'm excited with whatever they have to do with Wolverine because my assumption is that they're gonna do it really well. Like it's
Yeah. My question is, do you give him an actual age and say no, he's been around for this long? Or do you try and make it ambiguous?
Well, you can, but it's a weird thing because of the healing factor. Everyone knows Wolverine's like over hundreds of years old, but
Yeah.
he's like a middle-aged man because of the healing factor.
I mean, if it was up to me, I would do Marvel Studios saying that he was born in like the late 1700s or something, right? And has this healing factor. And then you could do hey, Marvel goes to the West. It's a Western episode of Wolverine, and check it out. We got like him as a cowboy and doing this thing, and you tie it into that, and you can have like some Native American Marvel characters that appear because there's been plenty of them. Like, so I would set it back at least a couple hundred years, and then you sort of play with, well, how do we account for his age? I guess we don't, right? Because you can't really, because healing factor and slow aging for some mutants. So you could play everything in once.
Yeah, because like even in a couple of like animated shows, when they brought that up, it was basically Professor X's. Was it? You guys know that Logan here is older than me, right? And like they just look at him like, what?
Yeah. Huh.
It's just how you put it off.
Yeah.
Because then you can't ever show him as a kid.
True. And you don't necessarily need to, right? Like it's.
I mean, no, you don't know necessarily.
It's like we've never seen Captain America as a little kid, so it's like we don't need to see Wolverine as a kid as well. We could just.
It's true. Yeah.
You could literally start with Wolverine being Wolverine during like the expansion to the West, working on like the railroad or something, trying to blend in, and it's like, oh, cool. There's your start to Wolverine and how he ties in, then slow anthology through the different, like I would say probably I'd say 8 episodes. You can fill in a pretty substantial time gap and bring him up to modern day with Weapon X and be like, well, there we are. Now we've caught up and we're good. So it's, you could tie him in with previous events. I mean, perfect event would be Isaiah Bradley just talked about when he fought the Winter Soldier in the 50s. I mean...
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to tie him into Isaiah.
What if he ties in... Like, what if Wolverine and the Weapon X program is built off the back of Isaiah testing, and that's our Captain America team-up. It's a different Cap. It's Isaiah and Wolverine fighting Winter Soldier. Like, that is money right there to me. So, it's...
But then... Do we still do the Wolverine and the Hulk?
You're definitely gonna do that, yeah.
Just like,
See, the final frame of the Wolverine series is him walking in Canada and runs into Hulk, and then we gotta watch the movie to see it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like to be continued. Give us money now. Oh. Damn.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
they're not gonna show the Hulk ripping Logan in half and leaving him there.
I mean, we just seen John Walker do it to a dude. Like...
oh.
No, because he said to be continued. So they're not gonna show it.
They insinuate
that.
As
he's ripping him in half, the screen goes blank.
No. As they ripping him in half, the screen rips in half to a black, like one of those cheap transitional effects from Windows Movie Maker, and that's it. It's like, oh, I get it.
Perfect.
Give me money now, Feige. I want my paycheck. But no, I'm genuinely excited to see how they're going to handle Wolverine. Like it's one of those characters that I've always been a fan of ever since I got into Marvel Comics. Wolverine always stood out to me. And like, he's not my favorite, but it's always a character I'm like, yes, I do like it when this character is around. Obviously, the movies, they did their own thing, and I appreciate them for what they did, but I can't wait to see it done the
Properly.
MCU way. Yeah. The more proper way, if you will. That's exciting.
I just want a short hairy dude. Like, come on. Let's do it.
Danny DeVito!
You're going to have to do something different. Go short hairy dude.
Yeah. Hopefully. Or at least somebody slightly on the shorter side. You know, like, they don't have to be like 5'4", but like 5'8" and slightly hunched would be perfect, in my opinion, you know? Like, it's...
Just as long as he's hairy. That's all we need. Jackman was too clean.
Yeah.
Too smooth. No, we need a bit of hair.
Well, hopefully we'll find that out soon.